The 2022 Toyota Tundra Hybrid is what I'm waiting for, and here's why. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive FST. And that's right, I've driven, I've looked at, I've touched, I've felt the 2022 Toyota Tundra twin turbo V6, but I'm waiting for the hybrid version, and there's a few reasons why. You know, there's nothing wrong with the truck. If you're in the market and you're looking for a new Tundra, that's the way to go. Why not? Matter of fact, I'd probably recommend that you go with the V6 twin turbo as opposed to waiting for the hybrid. Couple reasons for that. One, it's going to cost a heck of a lot more money. And two, it's going to be quite a while before it comes out. I'm thinking mid to late next year. So why am I waiting for it? Like I said, I drove one recently. I currently have a 2021 Toyota Tundra. It's just the SR5. Nothing special about it, but it does have the V8 engine, and it is awesome. So when I drove the new one, you know, when you drive something for the first time, it feels great. It feels powerful. Everything is awesome. But after a while, you kind of start to digest things, maybe absorb what you did, get a real true impression of what it is. Again, nothing wrong with it, but it's just a little bit lacking, I think, as compared to my current model, the 2021. Now, I'm talking about oomph, pickup, power. You know, it did peel the tires on a rolling drive. My current truck won't do that, so it does have more torque, but it doesn't have the oomph, you know, the staying power that my current truck has. For me, the new Tundra is really similar to what the 4.6, the smaller V8 Tundra was. It always seemed to me to be a little bit lacking as compared to the 5.7 V8. And that's how the 2022 six-cylinder twin turbo feels. You know, it's not bad. It's got good torque, but that's about it. Once that's gone and you get going and you hit the gas, you know, like if you're already traveling 55, 60 miles an hour, it just doesn't feel quite as strong as what the V8 does. When you hit the V8, I mean, it jumps and it goes. That great big honking engine wants to run. And it wants to suck gas too, let me tell you. And that's the good thing, I guess, about the 2022. If you're looking for something, you are going to get more fuel efficiency. You know, I think the verdict is still out as to exactly what that means. We all know that what's on paper doesn't necessarily translate to what's real life. It depends on how you're going to use it. I mean, if you're heavy on the gas, enjoying that awesome torque, you're probably not going to get as good a gas mileage. Obviously, if you're hauling stuff, towing stuff, it's going to go down as well. So I'll be real interested to see and hear experiences from people who have bought the new truck, what their real numbers are as compared to what the sticker says. You know, I'll give you an example. The sticker on the Tacoma is much higher than what I'm getting right now. Of course, that's my own fault. I've got more weight on the back in the form of a bed rack. I've got bigger, meatier, heavy tires. I've added other weight to the truck, so of course the fuel economy is going to go down. It has to haul around more. I may have put on a few pounds too. That's going to detract to some nth degree. I don't know. But anyway, there's always going to be something that's going to detract from that anyway. Even weather conditions, you know. In the winter when it's cold, maybe you let it run a little bit longer. Obviously, that's going to affect your fuel economy. You're not getting very many miles to the gallon while it's sitting in the driveway heating up, right? Same thing in the summer with the air conditioner. If you've got that convenient remote start and you want it to cool down before you get in, obviously it's going to burn more gas sitting in the driveway. So it all depends on how you use it, really. Now, from a comfort standpoint, I will say it did feel somewhat smoother as compared to the 2021. It wasn't anything earth-shattering. It certainly wasn't enough for me to shell out $65,000 and buy that truck. But it was better, it was smoother. Seating wise, I would have to say that the seats that are in my 2021 are just as comfortable as what was in the 2022. I didn't notice any big difference when it came to that. Handling, maneuverability, I mean, it's a big truck. It's still a big truck. Not much difference there. The one area that I did notice something a little bit different was the rear seating area. And this is strange because the watchdogs out there, when I made a comment in the first video when I was looking at the truck, which by the way, I'll link those 2 videos down below. They're telling me that specs-wise, the rear seat of the new Tundra is supposed to be smaller. Well, I gotta say, it didn't feel that way to me. When I sat in the back, it still felt cavernous. It's huge back there. And when the guy that went with us, Mr. Champion, he sat in the back, and he also commented as to how big it felt back there. And just looking at him sitting in that back seat gives you kind of a good idea. I had myself probably about this much room between my knees and the seat itself. I mean, it was huge. So if indeed, from a spec standpoint, it does number out to be smaller, you certainly don't feel it when you're in the truck. Headroom, no problem. Entry and exit, no problem. It was interesting though, the truck that we drove, it was a TRD off-road, did not have side steps on it. Did seem a bit taller to get in and out of that truck. And another thing I noticed, the sill, the door sill when you get in and out was a little bit smaller. So you kind of had a little bit smaller target to step into without having those side steps on. So I think if you're of shorter stature, and I'm not 6'8" myself, having those side steps definitely would help, I would think. So anyway, I would say, I would go ahead and get it now if you're in the market. It's an awesome truck if you need a truck. But for me, I'm waiting because I want the full money, right? I want the hybrid version with the even torquier performance and more horsepower. Of course, I should get that at improved fuel economy. It is a hybrid. It's going to have batteries underneath the rear seat. A lot of people don't like that because it reduces storage, might even raise the seat up a little bit. Not quite sure about that. I don't care. I want the extra oomph along with the extra fuel economy that's going to yield. Now, one other thing I want to say, I haven't driven one obviously because you can't, but I think what we're going to have with that hybrid is probably very similar to what we have with the V8 with respect to performance, oomph, off the line feel, general power, only because what they're giving us now is equivalent to the smaller 4.6. So that's the way it's going to be. I think we shall see. I'm not looking for some big improvement other than fuel economy. If I'm going to get that truck, it's got to have the fuel economy that I think it should have. Otherwise, I don't really see a benefit. Other than that great big giant screen. That's pretty cool. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, particularly if you've driven one. I mean, they're starting to spread out across the country. If you bought one, I'd be even more curious as to why did you buy it? Leave a comment. Let me know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma. And Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.